Can you hear me now? All right, Jake. How are you? Just let me know if you can't hear me. Okay. Still can't hear me. Hang on. I'll keep talking, right? Okay. I'm okay now. Yeah. Cool. St. Patrick's Athletic, guys. Welcome to this watch along. St. Patrick's Athletic take on Drogheda United, which is it's an interesting game. Just seen the team news there. We'll try and get it up again. I know Pats are missing Paddy Barrett and Billy King is on the bench, but Billy King is on the bench because he has a bit of a knock. He does tend to be injury prone, which is a concern for Pats. McClellan comes in for him, and Sam Bone, who is very injury prone, has come in for Paddy Barrett. Drogheda, I seen it a few minutes ago. I'm just trying to get it up here again. Drogheda United team news. Should have it here. Yeah. Okay, they're going with Adumuso in goal. James Brown, Connor Kane as their full backs. Daniel O'Reilly centre back alongside Dave Massey. Markey, Deegan, Highland. It's the same as last week, actually. Ronan Murray, Mark Doyle, and Chris Lyons. Exact same team as last week. How are you able to watch? How are you able to watch the game? Because I can't find the channel. Hey, watch LOI. Jake just said there. It's watch LOI. Like Mark Hughes missing. Yeah, he wasn't there last week either. Sure, wasn't he? Not Jake. We may have been on the bench, perhaps. But same team. Same Drogs team as last week, and the same. Two changes in the past team as I mentioned before. Why he's going for, guys? What do you think the score will be, and how do you think Longford the Bulls will get on as well? I'll have a look at that too. What way is that screen there? I'm just checking something here, guys. From my own thing. All right. Hang on a second. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's Jake. I think that's where Pats definitely have a big advantage over Drogs. It's the midfield. I think Len and Forrester, to be honest, and Benson's as good as midfield as any in the country, including Shamrock Rovers and Dundalk. The Shamrock Rovers and Dundalk probably have the depth that Pats don't have in midfield, but they dominate most games. Even against good teams, they tend to generally have a lot of the ball. Drogheda's weakest point, in my view, is their midfield, to be honest, as well as their central midfield. They can be dangerous on the counter, as we know. So I think they'll have to do that today, and they're going to have to be patient defensively. From a Pats point of view, they're going to have to be patient, but they're also going to have to move the ball quick, because it's no use having a lot of possession and playing in front of the teams, you know. Pats is a funny team. Yeah, I don't know, Chris. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, same as any game in this league at the moment. You know, you're going to have to perform every week to get a result in this league. There's no doubt about that. You know, if you don't perform in this league, you will be beaten. And if Pats aren't on it tonight, there's a good chance Drogheda will get something from this game. I've no doubt about that. I'm going for a draw this game. I can't predict the score in games. It's very difficult to predict any games, in fairness to you there. I'm with you there. Very difficult. Pitch looks in decent condition, but it's always hard to tell on the TV. But Richmond Park is generally, you have to say, in good condition. How do you see, guys, Bohemians and Longford getting on? I actually went for a draw on the Premier Division match preview show there. Guys, after this as well, I've done a few match reactions from fan reactions last night from the games last night, so keep an eye on that video as well. I'm going to be putting another one together tomorrow, I think. including from this game, the Bowls game, and the Bray game tomorrow. So that's something I'm going to look to do as well. Bowls and Longford will be interesting as well. Bowls will feel like they need a win. And how do you think, guys, Ireland will do against Luxembourg? How do you see that going? We kind of have to get a win there, don't we? It doesn't matter if it's 1-0 or 3-2. We just need to win that game. Jake says Bowls 1-0. Sorry, Siobhan, what did you say? Bowls 1-0. Yeah, I went for a draw. To be honest, like, nothing surprises me in the opening few weeks of the season. I wasn't surprised Harps won last night either, to be completely honest. It's still a pity. You look at it though, but it's just a pity, isn't it, that we can't get fans in the game still. I don't know what Watch-It-Low are doing here, but they seem to be fucking about a bit. I don't know if you see that in your stream, guys, but it's all sort of coding, loading issues here. Format completed. Good stuff. There was an issue apparently with the Cork. No, I won't be streaming that game, to be honest, Christopher. I don't think so. I think League of Ireland TV are doing it as well. To be honest, I think they're doing it as well. So if you want to see the stream for that, head over there and check them out. Still reeling from Cove game. It was a good second half. Yeah, I was in the middle of talking there about the Cove game, wasn't I? I can't remember what my point was. Press Alec Byrne. Yeah, I was surprised he was on the bench, Brian. Yeah, Rory, I've seen that. I don't know if you've seen the fan reactions, but the guy you had on, Gavin Woods, turn that down a bit, said, he said that Cove probably deserved a draw, to be honest.
Electricity Premier Division clash shot St. Patrick's Athletic on this afternoon. Visitors, the First Division champions, Drogheda United.
But yeah. I heard it was a scuffle as well. Yeah, I heard Heaven was very good in particular. Was Heaven playing centre back, Rory? I heard he was playing centre back, wasn't he?
Team news arriving to us in plenty of
Trogs in their away, their white kit with their kind of sky blue shorts here. Be interesting to see how James Brown and Conor Kane do in this game in terms of, like, Brown in particular was allowed to get forward an awful lot against Waterford. Will he be able to get forward an awful lot in this game? Be interesting to see. Yeah, that's what it was. Sorry, I was talking about that. Yeah, there seemed to be issues with that stream last night between Cork and Cove. And did Cork get to show it or something? Have to show it themselves, if you like, on Facebook or something. I heard something like that. But move to Cork's YouTube channel. Move to the YouTube channel. Yeah, they shouldn't be having major issues, really. Just have the pass game on now.
Joining us on commentary this afternoon is the director of football here at Richmond Park, Gerard O'Brien. Your thoughts ahead of the game?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the game.
Gerard O'Brien's in the commentary.
A good win last week.
They tend to get, have you noticed that, guys? They tend to get whoever's home. Like, they had
It was a really good game. Obviously, right at the death.
I don't know, my young fella's just rolling around the road. They tend to get a co-commentator from the home team. The Gary Rogers last night, didn't they? McNulty just fell over. I'm not surprised. McNulty's. It's becoming a bit of a joke now. McNulty. What was the story of Paul Hunt? Was he injured because he wasn't on the bench? Can't remember to go to the instant, but David O'Leary is involved. Yeah, I heard David O'Leary had a good game actually.
180 days since football was played in these parts. How key is it for Pats to make?
Guys, while you're there, please like the video and see how many likes we can get. Be interested to see how many we get basically. But also subscribe if you're new. If you can, please. Here we go. Anyway, tip off, guys. Forgot Beachy was injured. Oh yeah, forgot. Yeah. Harrington was on the bench, I think, for Cork City. How are you, Killian? Best of luck to you.
The St. Pat's captain. Anxious to get involved early doors, and that's it.
Good ball by Benson to Smith, but Brown was on hand to good position to play there.
Win the throw in, and Shane Griffin is up with the play, keen to get on the front foot early.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just about to say that. I think it's important that we go and try and dominate quite early. I think the onus being on the home team as well. we want to build from last week, as I said already. And I think if we can make
Shane Griffin has been an underrated. Here he is coming forward for Pats.
you know, we can make
He's been an underrated sign for Pats. I know there's a few Cork people watching the stream here actually. What was your opinion of him the last few years?
Surrounded by a number of defenders and eventually Drogheda get it clear.
Because obviously he's part of the championship winning team, but I heard he struggled a bit the last year. But then again, everyone was struggling at Cork, weren't they?
Obviously with a little bit of disappointment a couple of seasons ago, just missing out and then getting promoted.
Yeah, well, Rory, you can keep me updated with what's going on at Bowls, and if that's the case.
People like that, Dane Massey. So it'll be really interesting to see how
Siobhan will be making everyone mad again.
I think Drogheda will be able to be well organised.
Vinny Farty, good old Vinny Farty.
Yeah,
Mountain might have a strike here from distance. And Pat's starting on the front foot, to be fair. Free kick St.Patrick for a foul on Chris Forrester. Those Game TV. It's on Watch LOI, Christopher. The two games are on Watch. Griffin was brutal for us, seems good for Pats. But was he good before the last season, Rory? Was he just bad for a season kind of a thing?
You know, he can be very dangerous for set piece.
Hi Shane, I don't think so because what do you call it? LOI TV, I believe, are doing one as well. So I don't think, to be honest, there's a need for doing one in that case. Like, you know, won't be sorry, McNulty plays these 50s. Actually, Pastor, is you own, or is there anyone to really like? Yeah, the one actually had a couple of them, and hang on, it's a free kick here. Corner kick, Pats. There was a few of them, but yourself threw them out. I had one with remember the one with the Paddy Power in the middle and the green, but it all peeled off, and I kind of fucked it out eventually. The one from '99 I really like as well, and I had that one. I don't know where that's gone, but there was another one I didn't really like. What was that from?
Winter conditions, winter-like conditions.
It's the 90s or 2000s. It was kind of like a bit. It was Ajax style with white down here as well. I wasn't mad about that one. Yeah, that's interesting. Because he's actually playing well at Pats, I have to say. I wonder why though. It's always hard to tell. Pat starting a good pace here, actually, in fairness. And Drogheda, I'm trying to see if they're trying to press up now that Pat's at the ball at the back. They're kind of, they're not sitting, but they're not pressing either, if you get me. They're kind of holding their position. The screen is a little bit, the picture could be a bit better. I don't know about you guys if you're watching it, but it's just a little bit, you know, when the ball's kicked and moving, it's a little bit of a blur. I don't know if you noticed that, guys, there. But Drogheda had possession at last here and have it in their back line. Connor Kane to Deegan. Deegan's getting harried out of it there, and Pat's win the ball back, but then Drogheda pick it up and there's a throw in. My prediction, I'll write it in here actually. I'd go with that, guys, I think. Yeah, do you find that, Connor BB? Doesn't it seem a little I'll just throw it up there for now. Hopefully it improves as the game goes on. So just got that kind of blurry effect. Who's your favourite Ireland player? My favourite Ireland player, I still think it's Seamus Coleman, to be honest. Yeah, that's fair enough, Rory. Although I have to say he's defended well at Pats as well. Honestly, the last year or so he's defended well as well. We'll be interested to see if he can do that this season again.
It's actually one part of Dara's game that he does really, really well. He carries the ball really
Interestingly, of course, Dara Markey, who couldn't get in the Pats team really the last couple of seasons up against Pats here. He can be frustrating. He can do good things in a game, but he can also be very frustrating and be very careless with the ball, I think.
Connor Kane was kind of getting forward quite quickly.
Yeah, that long ball came in from Forrester. It just got caught in the wind.
Yeah, I think so, to be honest. A bit windy here as well. It was windy at a few games last night as well. It seems a bit windy here as well. Drogheda are in Pat's half now with the football. James Brown, I think, is one of the best young right backs in the league, in my opinion.
How key will those 3 points be come the
I had a feeling Massey would be an option, would become an option at centre back this season as well, because the style of Kane and Brown and the way they play, I didn't see Massey playing at left back. Who's on top? Pat slightly, but it's too early to actually form a.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's only 5 minutes gone. It's too early to actually say who's really on top. But Pat's probably pressed a bit more so far.
David in the Drogheda goal has, he impressed really well in the fourth division last year, and again he's kind of kicked on well. And speaking,
I don't know. Judging by the government, I don't know. I mean, the rollout of vaccines were in April, practically, you could say now, and 3.6% of the population have got a vaccine. It's too slow. I don't know what's going on there. I'm hoping June, July, but geez, probably just be like 100 fans, 50 fans or something. Cheers, man. Oh, Manny Smith. Oh, poor finish. Smith got in there and really should have done better there. I don't think we've replays to win this one. We did one of the games last night, I think. Watch LOI. Watch LOI. I'm watching it. Yeah, Smith made a good run into the box, got into a great position. Instead of going for the far corner, he cut across it and it just went wide into the near corner.
Pat's going to keep this tempo momentum going, and with that intent to try and attack.
Yeah, and Drogheda have the benefit of the wind behind them, but it's Pats that have settled into these blustery conditions that little bit more in these early stages.
Favourite Pats player ever?
In this game thus far.
Who am I saying? Who am I saying?
Look up, go short for Forrester, Coughlin.
There's two, and I changed my mind an awful lot between the two of them. Similar era as well. Paulo Zam, Eddie Gormley. Completely different types of midfield player. I find it hard to split them.
Stephen O'Donnelly's book at pre-season. Sometimes he favours the right footer on the left where he can come inside. But
yeah, I agree with that. I thought he was terrible and he was disgraceful, Shane, when he came on the last day as well. Absolutely dreadful.
Big play, so it'd be really interesting to see how he continues from last week.
Yeah, McClellan plays it back. Griffin, Matty Smith is on the outside. Matty Smith now.
Yeah, the weather. Yeah, there was a bit of hailstones here yesterday, by the way, as well. But you're talking about the match, obviously. But I think someone mentioned there was a little bit of there was sleet in Dundalk as well.
There's sleet here as well. The first division, the top flight this year coming in.
Yeah, listen, like the players, like the fans, like everyone involved. I think the referees are just excited.
Don't get the balloons though. Do you see where the shed end is? Like, see there, the Athletic of Inchicore, the balloons. I don't get balloons.
Games last week were pretty well.
Also, yeah.
Pretty similar.
Chris Lyons plays it out around the.
Now, Drogheda on the attack here. Mark Doyle, who's one of their danger men. That's a strike. That was a good effort. Like, he'd be disappointed, Mark Doyle. Very dangerous player. Picks up the ball on the left and just hits it straight at Yaris, the Pat's keeper. Fails to hit a corner, but an opportunity there for Drogheda. Mark Doyle was excellent last year for Drogheda in the first division. I think he got 13 goals. Half a season, remember. What's this here, sorry? I snuck into Richmond 2 summers ago pretending to be a first aid festival to see Chelsea. Which players did you meet, Keane? Disappointing. Daniel, I do when Waterford actually released their home kit. Like I was told last night by someone doing a web design that Waterford are actually getting a new, a brand new kit, and they still haven't released it yet, which is annoying me to be honest. But as soon as they release it, I'll be on it fairly quickly. Yeah, he's a promising keeper, Jake. But here's Mountney with the cross. It's a good cross. Like he just needs someone to get in there. But no, he is. But I think Mark Doyle needs to find a corner there. But it's literally straight at him, which is always disappointing. The 2 chances in the game so far were disappointing finishes, I must say, from Smith and Doyle after getting into great positions. You just need to do better than that, don't you? Decent game so far. Decent tempo. Decent tempo.
That we haven't kind of challenged a little bit more, but as you said, offers have come in for Jamie in the off season, but everyone at the club, he's been here a long time, and I think
very good, Cian.
he's liked what he's seen with Stephen Allen and the staff there. So
Yarius could go on to be, who knows? He could go on to be a very good goalkeeper, like at that level.
I really think that he's going to go on and kind of be
Shane Griffin for Pats on the left now, plays it down the line, but the camera, lads, are you finding that when the ball's moving, like the camera's going left and right quickly, it's a bit blurry or something?
Big brackets, Jamie Lennon. Straight away, he's back involved here. That's moves out.
25 watching at the moment, guys. Thanks very much for watching, tuning in. I believe there's no goals. Do like the video, guys, if you can, and subscribe if you're new. I believe there's no goals in. Let's keep an eye on that actually. In Bowls, yeah, Bowls 0, Longford 0 as well. So just keep an eye on that as well. Who's better, Man City or Bayern? Isn't that very random? Wouldn't be much between them, to be fair. Yeah, I'm checking it here, Rory, but you might get there first, so why not? You can tell us what the goal is like if there's a goal scored. And maybe just tell us how the game is going generally, who's on top. John Paul Feeney, how are you? You all right? Who's a better keeper? Kelleher, Bazunu, Travers. Kelleher this minute in time. I think Bazunu may have the highest ceiling, but I could be wrong.
There seems to be a lot of space out on the right hand side here with there's a bit of interchange and Robbie Benson's dropping back into that half space for full back. John Mooney's pushing on and Jason Taylor might be.
Guys, I don't know if you can hear that, guys, but the neighbours have music on. When I say music, it's kind of thump music, as I call it. It's on since about 10 o'clock this morning, and it's now 4:15, and you can hear it. No probs, John. Are you watching Longford and Bowls? Hats of a corner here. I would say it's a reasonably open game. To be honest, I thought Drogheda would sit back a little more, particularly at the start. Pats do have a lot of the ball, but you expect that generally. And Pats of a corner with Robbie Benson here. Travers has to play. I agree 100%. There's no point changing the goalkeeper. He was unlucky with that goal as well. It was a bit of an error, but to be honest with you, it was a great finish too. Benson with the corner. It's a bit deep. Comes down and it's a save by Odamusu, but it was a weird one. It was like flicked on rather than a shot, so there was no real danger. Dublin red or green. For Ireland, do you rather 4 or 5 at the back? It depends, Shane. It depends. It really does depend. I don't really know, to be honest. We look like 5 at the back kind of suits us a bit more. Pats for top 2. Ooh, that'd be a shock. Longford will do okay this year. I don't know. I don't see a really, really weak team in the division. You could do. Yeah, he was. You're right. He was. That's exactly what it was. You're getting a third. Kenny's unlucky. A third choice keeper forced to come in, inexperienced, young. He's very unlucky. Here's your 11 play against Luxembourg. Well, Travers in goal. I think he'd stick with the system, the 3 at the back. So I'd like to see Duffy in for Clark, if I'm honest with you, for more aerial presence. Apart from that, I'd keep the back line the way it was. I'd go Doherty again, wing back with Stevens. Midfield will have to change a bit, I think. I don't know what we'll do there because of fitness levels and that, but I think I'd bring Jason Knight into that midfield alongside Malumbi if he's fit enough. And I'm not sure who else, though. I wouldn't bring Hendrick in, to be fair. Cullen would probably go again. And up front, I'd probably go with Collins. The fact that he scored the last day as well, I know it was an easy goal, but just give that bit of confidence there. We'd lack a number 10 type player. I might play Brady, but Brady can be infuriating as well. I'd play with the same system though, so the players can kind of develop and get used to that still. So I think I'd stick with that system. Drogheda targeting when they get the chance. They seem to be targeting the right hand side here. with Brown. Oh, we have to beat them. Yeah, even if it's a 1-0 stupid win, we have to beat them. Yeah, the problem with the traditional 4-4-2 is I don't think we have the players, and we can't. Lennon. We can't afford to get outnumbered in the middle of the park.
Yeah, I think don't think directly knew where the ball was on that, but I think it was the easiest decision was just to blow a point one direction. But it's going to be interesting to see how the next, teams are going to be really happy.
Pat's like to play from the back a lot. I like it to some degree, but also I don't mind a few long passes as well. It's easy for a team to set defensively when a team, and you can get caught out as Dundalk managed to do last night. Not that I know of, Jody, there isn't. But yeah, Dundalk got caught out last night. Drogheda on the right attacking again. It's Markey, former. That's ooh. I think Doyle could do better there. Markey's got away there, and he's got a decent cross into the box, and Doyle, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a great ball in by Derek. He's done really well.
He was 1-on-1 with Mountney actually as well, Doyle, and if you read it better, he had a better opportunity to get a header there on target. Yeah, it's difficult to say, Rory. Like, in fact, the problem is Rory there is, it's too early to judge him. But the problem is, you play the ball so much. Ooh. Thought Forrest had picked up an injury for a minute. But sorry, I was saying there, yeah, they play with it so much at the back passing to right back to the keeper and all. It only takes one error, that's the issue. And you mess up, and it's a goal. That's what happened last night to them. You can kind of see it happening in a way, The question is he comfortable, though, doing that as well? I don't know we won't know for a while what type of keeper he is. It's okay. I wouldn't say it's terrible by any means. I think both teams are getting tackles in. The pace is okay. Yes, there aren't loads and loads of chances, but you don't really get loads and loads of chances in games, really, if the teams are defending the way they should be. Drogheda working very hard off the ball, I have to say. Just see an image here where they're shuttling along very quickly and closing down Pats very, very well. So although Pats have more possession, Drogheda aren't allowing them to have easy possession on the ball. Still 0-0 in Longford. Bohemians 0, Longford 0. 17 minutes gone there. Dervin is a good player. Yeah, I think I probably will, Rory. It depends on what's going on, but I'll definitely try and get one or two in, obviously, every week if I can. Drogheda are working extremely hard off the ball, I have to say. Pat's Forrest has gone back there. Yeah, it's hard to keep that up for 90 minutes, but too far out of the goal. Ronan Cochran now finds Matty Smith, but he loses it. I think early on, actually, here comes James Brown. Great tackle, Lennon. Fantastic tackle by Jamie Lennon. Deegan left one on Benson there, to be honest. Couple of men on the deck. Gary Deegan gets a book, and that's Gary Deegan's problem there. I've seen the foul on Benson, to be honest, and it was a late tackle, but he knew what he was doing. There was no points. He's picked up a yellow now, and now Deegan's in trouble there for 70 minutes. That's where he can let you down. I have to say, he let Shelburne down last season, late in the season, to be honest, with poor discipline.
It's important that, have to keep moving the ball, keep being patient. The switch of play is working to an extent. I think there's definitely going to be some joy out in the wide areas.
I think Keane with Celtic. Yeah, it's been a few years since Keane has been in the management hot seat. He hasn't really shown so far that he suits management very well, so I don't really know. Do I think Stephen Kelly should sack Stephen Kenny? No, I don't, actually, to be honest, because he was good, Rory, he was good early on, but late when it came to the crunch, he got a couple of reds that let Shelburne down ultimately.
Yeah, asking comments about the ref not handed out yellow cards last night. In fairness, he's got all of them right from Deegan and Lyons. It's,
They need to be careful. There's just a couple of yellows there. Lyons picking up a yellow there, but Deegan can be. You can get at Deegan once he gets a yellow. You can have a few words with him, and get him into trouble. That's the problem.
What we don't want to see is that kind of ball from Lee. Get on it, be a little bit kind of positive with the play, without trying to force it and try and get the back on the back foot again.
King Celtic didn't get favour.
Defensive effort was equal to it. Bowen challenges for this one, loses out the header, but Lyons.
I don't know, ref, relax. I'm not sure. Yeah. We do have to be careful. The referee doesn't start giving yellow cards for every single free kick, though. My thoughts on Liverpool. I don't really have much thoughts on Liverpool. Oh Jesus! Jeff Kennan was a disaster at Pats. Absolute disaster. Longford won up, really? Is that true? No, don't think so. I think someone's taking the piss. If Stephen does get sacked, I don't know. See, the thing is, I see Stephen as a transitional manager. Who scored for Bowes, Rory? I see him as a transitional manager, and we have to change our approach and change our culture and try to play football. So if it takes 5-10 years to sort it out. Who scored for Bowes, guys? I've seen it's 1-0 here, but I don't see a goal score yet. Georgie Kelly, typical. Probably do brilliant at Bowes after being useless at Pats. I think Drogheda have come to terms with the game a little bit here after. I think the first 10 minutes, I think Pats were kind of doing most of the pushing and looking dangerous, but they're not giving Pats time on the ball. And they do have to be a little bit careful, as I said, with the bookings and that. But they're not giving Pats time on the ball at all here so far. Yeah, possibly, Jake. It's I think the Deegan one was a definite yellow. I actually was looking here. I didn't see the lines yellow, so I can't really comment on that. The Lennon one, again, you need to see the replay. See, you can't see the replays. It looked kind of harsh, but then if you see the replay, you might think it was a yellow. It's very difficult to say, isn't it?
The games come thick and fast, and it's all a new experience for a lot of these players.
Yeah, it is. And listen, no matter if you're Drogheda, Shamrock Rovers.
Rory, what was Kelly's goal like? Was it a header, a shot, or what kind of finish or style of move was involved in that goal?
Yeah, you look at Finn Harps, he had a fantastic.
That music is still on, guys. Since 10 o'clock. It's now nearly 4:30.
So it's just the little things, and as you said, it settles everyone down. Training is much more.
Jake, you have to be happy enough for Drogheda to start here in the opening 23 minutes, don't you? To be fair, they have harassed Pats when they've been on the ball, put them under a lot of pressure. They have created one or two openings. The finishes weren't great, but despite that, those things scored again at the stage. I hate those refs who give cards for everything. Those slow flow again. That was very evident, Brian, the Shamrock Rovers Pats game, the opening day of the season. The referee set a precedent by giving Gannon a ridiculous booking. So then every foul became a booking because of it. There was at least 3 bookings in that game that were possibly not even fouls, certainly not bookings. So,
Goes back as far as Massey, and we used the keeper Odomosu. Chaining his place ahead of Colin McCabe once more today, Odomosu.
They draw look dangerous. Not particularly. What they're doing is Pats have a lot of the ball so far, Jody, to be honest. And what Drogheda are doing, they're closing them down, they're harassing them, they're not giving up Pats no time in the ball. So it depends what you mean by dangerous. They probably don't have enough of the ball to create much at the moment, but they're not giving Pats much. Pats aren't really creating opportunities because of the work rate off the ball, which is absolutely fantastic from Drogheda so far, in my opinion. And
with over halfway.
You know, there they are again. Griffin can't find a pass because there's 3 Drogheda players around them. So the fitness levels will have to be good here for Drogheda for the 90 minutes if they're going to continue playing like this. They might have to change and maybe sit for 10 minutes to get a breather and then go back doing that again. But Pat's not really creating anything apart from the start when Matty Smith really should have done better with the shot. So Drogheda would be the happier of both sides so far, in my opinion. Something like that. I think Man City will go for Drupal. Yeah, of course, I think so. Yeah.
So maybe not so much in the last 5 or so minutes.
Ronan Coughlin, here's another free. They have to be careful that way, Drogheda, so there's a balance. There's a fine line between closing them brilliantly and possibly picking up too many yellows, but we haven't seen Coughlin much in the game, but free kick for Pats anyway on the right here. It's almost like a corner to a degree. And McClellan looks like he's going to whip the same as left boot.
You know, 3 boys who are really good headers of the ball, and gives a great chance.
Yeah, McClellan should have whipped this right into the danger area.
And that's a waste for McClellan.
After the big build-up,
pretty much pass it back to the goalkeeper. That's such easy for Odamusu to deal with, and he tries to get Brown away quickly, which Drogheda try and do a lot, and Doyle tries to get Brown in again, and Lennon's with him here. Lennon does brilliantly there, though. Excellent play from Lennon, to be fair.
Matty Smith was like looking to break onto it, but you know, we spoke about the qualities Lennon possesses, and that was evidence of it.
And that's the opposite side of his game. Jamie's really good on the ball, technically fantastic, he's the pass, but that's the part of his game where
2-0 Bowles, so it looks like Bowles have to win.
To do that, especially on that quick
is it 2-0, guys? Who's got the second goal? Or is Bob taking the mickey again because he said it was 1-0 to Longford?
Work rate and fitness key in League of Ireland Premier Division football. We're in the very early stages. Players still no.
Forrester picking the ball up deep here, which sometimes he has to do for Pats. A lot of Pats fans like to see him higher up the pitch, but then again, he makes them take a lot of the time. So Tierney scored 2-0. All right. Barrett is injured. He picked up an injury against Shamrock Rovers last week. What's going on here? Oh, it's handball, free kick for Pats. Yeah. Very impressed with Drogheda's fitness levels and work rate so far. It's very difficult to do what they're doing, though. Can they keep doing it? 2-0. No, it's actually 2-0. It's 2-0 to Bowles, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, Drogheda players just having an opportunity to speak with the match referee. Seeking clarification.
Free kick for Pats, very central though, and not far enough. They're too far out to have a shot basically. So Forrester plays it left. Griffin might whip it in, but he can't beat his man. He comes back inside, and Drogs I think clear it, but they give it back straight to Pats straight away.
Forrester, Mountney is a man on the outside. Goes to Forrester.
You can just see that big space in behind. Conor Kane is actually really starting to get tight to his winger. At this occasion, it's Jason McClellan. That big space because Dave Massey, Ronan Coughlin is kind of keeping Dave Massey and Daniel O'Reilly busy, and there's a big space between Conor Kane and Dave Massey that it's kind of inviting.
Very compact, Drogheda. They're doing a great job. They're kind of sitting back a little bit now, I have to say, Drogheda, the last 5-10 minutes. 3-0 to Bowles, really. Yeah, Kyle. To be honest, Kyle, early in the season, but Dundalk look like the players look like they're having a clue what they're supposed to be doing, which usually comes from the coach. So I'll be a little bit concerned about that. All right, fair enough, Bob. No bother. But 3-0 Bowles. Who got the third, guys? Maybe they got a bit excited after last week that they Longford. Oh, it's not 3-0.
Away from the return of the football, volunteer stewards so key to our game here in Ireland. Counter free football, but we have a replacement in the hands of Connor Kane. Long tries to find Murray. Doyle now. Touch it.
No, it's still 2-0.
Spotted by the referee. Ball will come in from Benson.
You'd have to be happy. You'd have to be happy if you're a Drogheda fan so far. Obviously, a Bowls fan, you have to be delighted as well. But here's McClellan though at the moment. Gets a good cross in. Lots of players in the box there. They Benson, Coughlin, and somebody else. I'm not sure who it was. Might have been Forrester. But
Pat's attack. Pat's have to go all the way back to Yarosh.
two Rovers this year.
It's very easy.
You think Waterford will go down? Difficult to say early doors. At this minute in time, I still have Longford for 10th. I don't know. 9th could go down, obviously. So
Anticipated the challenge coming in from Lyons, who just lost his footing at the vital time.
There's that run from Chris Forrester, as you see. John Murphy gets on it. Jason McClellan puts Connor Kane down the line, and Chris actually makes this run this time. It's just a pity that John Murphy didn't see it.
Yeah. They had a 2-on-1 out of this near side. Again, the angle ball caught.
just struggling Pats to really create anything, I have to say, at the moment. A few times they've got wide and trying to get crosses into the box. Josh, I had Drogheda down for 7th. I think it's 7th or 8th. I don't see them finishing 9th or 10th, to be honest. The Bowls players want to watch this season. Ooh, there's quite a few of them, I think. There's a few of them. I mean, Liam Burt, I think, new signing wise, is one to watch. Liam Burt. Ireland, I think they'll win tonight, to be honest. I think we'll go with the same system with a couple of little changes to the game that played against Serbia, and a throw in for Drogheda here. I do think we'll do it though. Tierney, Burt, or Erie, Brian.
Just thought it was going over John's head, and that touch is managed, because if not, I think Connor Kane was able to get, his foot on the ball and get it in goal. But the problem that Pats have is, you can see when Sam Bone got dispossessed, is that they're just getting themselves back into shape, and everything is getting a little bit crazy. Oh,
here's a chance. Oh, wrong pass by Forrester, in my opinion. Coughlin on it though. Can he have a shot? Plays it to Forrester. They're trying to pass it into the net, so to speak. The 2 chances to shoot there, Pats, actually. And I thought initially Forrester played the wrong ball out to the left of Coughlin. There was a ball through the middle. I'm not sure it was going through the middle, but it's irrelevant. Could have played it there, but...
Yeah, and just on that, what I was saying just before that attack, is that if we're slow in our build-up, Pats...
Once you're at the edge of the box, there, there's a chance to shoot. There's no point trying to overplay it. Like, what's the point? Like, it's different if Drogheda have nobody... have only 1 or 2 players back, but when they have a number of players back there, That's true, Rory. Very true. Very true. I agree with that.
Seen his fair share of action in this opening half. Clashes with the Drogheda captain, Jake Highland. Absolutely all right, and we resume with on the edge of the box. Going into the teeth of this blustering wind. Bowles goes down the line.
There's no point. Bowles plays a long ball down the line there, but it's a long ball to nothing, and you're against the wind as well. Like, keep it on the deck a bit there, I think, Sam Bone looks like he's looking for another long ball. In fairness, this time he plays a good long. This is a long pass. There's a difference. They have to Griffin on the left, and Smith, who kind of started well but faded a bit, to be fair. He's going to lose the ball here, I think.
Good footwork too from the offensive player, Matty Smith. Good throw from Bats. Coughlin just couldn't control it.
You can see the difference.
Hang on, I love the noise in the background. Christopher, what's the noise in the background? Is it that music you're talking about that's been going on since 10 o'clock this morning? Honestly, how can I have music on since 10 o'clock this morning? Boom, boom, boom. Still fucking on. Judge teams after 10 games. Yeah, that's a good one, Daniel. Very possible, yeah.
Always vocal on the field of play. sitting in that holding position just in front of the back four for Drogheda. He's signing in the off season from Shell. Will have been disappointed how the campaign finished with the Reds last year, but now firmly a Drogheda man. Jamie Lennon.
Pat's coming again, but again, Drogheda haven't let that work rate off the ball dip at all, I have to say now.
Outside, I still have it, but it's cut out.
And the hope from Drogheda's point of view is that Pats get frustrated and struggle to create anything and start to make mistakes, you know.
And now, still working between the two. Drogheda close that particular gap. Hope the ball over the top from Pats.
Like there's an example. Pat's trying to play for a hopeful ball over the top there in the hope, hopeful ball in the hope. But you know, that's where frustration could come into a little bit. You're trying to force it and you make errors that way. They do need to play a bit quicker, but you need to be calculated in the quickness of your play. They have a free kick here. Drogheda are fouling a lot in the game, it has to be said, but that's what happens when you're harrying and you're really closing down space, and it also frustrates the opposition. So the work rate from Drogheda is excellent here. I don't think Ireland will qualify either, Josh, but it's all about the bigger picture for me. We're trying to change the culture and the style of play. I don't want us going back to another boring football, long ball, hoof the ball away type football. So, you know, it's going to take a while for Ireland to change their culture. For me, qualifying is irrelevant.
Watch that one all the way. Pushes this down. Murray lays it forward.
Yeah, Kyle, it depends though. I mean, Dundalk are well capable of coming out and winning. Maybe your neighbour's having a COVID rave party. I don't know what they're doing, Brian, honestly. They've got kids and that. They're normal. They're parents. They're not, you know what I mean? It's actually head-wrecking, to be honest with you, as well. Like, that's since 10 o'clock this morning, guys. Like, we're talking about 20 to 5 now. Give it a rest, like.
Again, the defender that came across was Danny O'Reilly. Forrester now.
That's useless from Forrester. Sorry, but, you know, you're playing... Like, what is that? It's just a cross. Like, Odamusu's there in his own, and it's crossing for the sake of crossing. Crossing without purpose, basically. Still 2-0 between Bowes and Longford. By the way, Tierney did get the second and Kelly did get the first there. I think if I was Drogheda though here, I know it's difficult because they're putting in such an effort off the ball. But when they get on the ball,
they frustrated, they could have, you know, they got the grips after
with the wind, if they can somehow get in a position to have a strike from distance. Which hurt you more? Losing 5-1 the World Cup playoff.
Really good so far, so I think Tim's going to be happy. A little bit more from Pat's point of view.
It'd have to be the French one because it was so close. Against Denmark, we were just completely outplayed.
The old mantra is the work in that final third.
Yeah.
Of the things that Pats need to get right.
No, I see that actually. Yeah, I see that actually, Craig. But sometimes when you're well beaten, you've no argument, if you get me. But when you drop points, when you lose the way we lost to France, you know, not only was it a goal that the referee should have chalked off or whatever, but it was so tight. It was horrible. Score prediction for today. For which game are we going for, Mystic Drog? You're talking about the game currently? If so, I did say Pats 1-0. That's still on the cards. If not, if you're talking about Ireland, there's Chris Lyons. Really puts people under pressure. And it's a corner here for Drogheda. If Drogheda were to score first, by the way, I find it very difficult to see Pats get two.
You know, it's tough up front when you're 2 big centre backs coming out. You know, when you have a lot of possession of the ball, as I said earlier, it's up to you to try and bring people into play. So he's got his team's corner there for good sheer hard work.
First corner of the match for Drogheda to be taken by Darragh Markey.
Markey's going to lift it in. It's a bit deep. What a waste of a corner. That'd do your head in, wouldn't it? I mean, if Drogheda have done a lot of work off the ball, brilliant work off the ball, they get an opportunity to get a ball into the box, and Markey just misses everyone from a corner. It's just it would wreck your head. I'm sure Tim Clancy is scratching his head at that one, to be fair.
Sambone again. They're back. Yarosh. Deacon and a battle first.
Really are working very hard on the ball. And then Doyle is on the ball here. Nice little try to find Brown. Smith tracked him back, but look.
There goes to Brown with Markey.
Markey went down there. Referee deemed it as a tackle, but Pat's on the break, which we haven't really seen. Fucking fell over. Pat's still on the attack here. McClelland has it on the right.
Still coming through.
And Forrester. Ooh.
The look at the referee said he felt it.
Could have been a penalty, but I don't think it was. But to be honest, I think Forrester should have got the shot away quicker. A couple of times Pat's there when they've been in the position that you need to get your shot away quicker. You can't be dithering when you're in the box. Like when there's an opportunity to shoot in the box, I don't get the delays. Like, you know, seem dodgy for you. Yeah, Rory, it's a little bit when the ball's moving quickly, it gets a bit blurry as such. Maybe a little biased, but I feel Drogheda are much stronger. Season. The problem is Mystic Drog. It depends. Like, where do you see them? Where do you see Drogheda finishing basically this season, in your opinion? He is a lovely player, but I think in this game, for example, he had 2 chances to shoot in shooting positions, and he elected to pass it. He needs to be having a shot.
6, 7 games. So I think it's going to take another couple of weeks before players start finding their feet. I think the big fear now for managers is that we just want to get injuries. Muscle injuries would be high risk now at this stage. So it's important to kind of get through the games like that. There will be some muscle risk. There will be some.
I went for Pat's 1-0, so I have to stick with 1-0. That's a bad giveaway by Forrester there. Oh, they were lucky there.
Chris Lyons away with
I said Drogs 7. Not Drogs in 7th. Sorry, 6th, 7th. They were lucky there that Forrester gave it away. He wasn't looking when he gave it away, and Lyons was offside, but he could have easily have been in.
It's what happens if you leave yourself exposed.
Adamusu is an excellent young goalkeeper. Really good young goalkeeper.
You kind of go into areas of the pitch where you can leave yourself exposed. So
good shot stopper, commanding, very athletic, very good in the air, and very good young goalkeeper. Connor Kane boxed in with the throw in right in the corner here. If they can get in half time here, 0-0, Drogheda will be absolutely delighted with the way they've played in the first half. They don't deserve to be behind by any means. And Pats haven't done enough, but that's down to Drogheda as well, the way they've worked very hard off the ball. Yeah, Rory has been at times. I mean, he's that was actually very sloppy and could have been costly, but even getting forward there, have a shot when the chance opens up. Have a shot. I can never understand with any player in that regard. I was just saying it with top. I was just about saying top 7. That's not realistic. It'd be difficult Mystic Drog to get higher, in my opinion. I don't know. I think it'd be difficult to get higher. I'll be honest. I could be wrong, but I do think it'd be hard to get higher. Pat's player down here at the moment. I didn't really see what happened there, to be honest, but it's hurt. Portugal ripped them a new one and beat them 3-1.
Rather than try and force it, Bar probably just force 15 minutes. We haven't really troubled.
Yeah, McClelland and Matty Smith were getting plenty of change from Drogheda in that opening quarter hour. But as time has ticked by, the County Louth side have adapted and have worked out the shape and pattern.
I think 0-0 is a fair scoreline actually going at half time. Should we go in at 0-0 because Drogheda have worked extremely hard to set off the ball. The picture there at times is not great, is it, guys? And Pats haven't done enough with the ball. Camera gets blurry because it might be focus issues. Yeah, it's definitely focus issues for sure. Yeah, I agree with that Irish football blog. They're a nice team to watch at times.
let's hope it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Who do you think get relegated? I had Longford bottom, so I have to stick with them bottom, to be honest. Like Waterford ninth. I think if Waterford finished ninth, I think they'll probably go down as well. I think whoever comes through the playoffs might beat them. That's if they finish ninth. Of course, they could finish higher. I had them down for fifth, to be honest, Mystic Drog. We'll see as the season goes on. I did have them down as fifth, but I think they could finish anywhere between fourth, in fact, and seventh. You know what I mean? That's not good. That's their problem there, Pats.
Duration of the second half.
Squad wise, Birmingham's a good player, but he hasn't got the legs to get up and down.
All the best. Not nice to see a player depart in such circumstances so early in the season. But strength and depth, plenty in the Pats rank. There indeed is Ian Birmingham, a veteran around these parts.
He is a veteran around these parts, yeah. Birmingham's been fantastic. He was a really good teammate. He's been brilliant. And
the problem with Birmingham is he has been a great player for Pats there, but if Griffin's out for a number of weeks, Birmingham isn't the type of fullback nowadays that can get bombed forward, unfortunately. So that's an issue. Who do you think's win the league? I've gone with Rovers, Shamrock Rovers, so I better stick with them.
Something deep into injury time now at the end of this opening half. Doesn't quite work out for Connor Kane, and we'll have to go all the way back.
Yeah, I have gone with Rovers first, yeah.
Floats one over the top for Murray to run on to Murray, gets to it.
The FAI Cup Rovers for the league. I have a weird feeling that somebody outside of the Rovers and Dundalk type teams are going to win the league this season, or the cup this season. It could be a bit of a surprise team. Who knows? If Bowls could win a cup, it'd be huge for them, I think.
Drogheda set to finish it on the front foot. Brown finds Markey, tries to get a turn.
0-0 at half time. Pat started off well the first 10 minutes. Drogs have worked extremely hard in closing them down, made it very difficult for Pats, and 0-0 is the fair result at half time, in my opinion. I don't see any other score. I don't see the Pats deserve to be in front or anything like that, and Drogheda deserve to be level, no doubt.
Yeah, it was important that Pats just did.
Kieran, how are you? I obviously didn't see the game, but it's a good result, I think, for Shells in the circumstances, and it's not a bad result for Galway either, because it's the first day of the season. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please subscribe if you don't mind, and like the video if you can. It'd be great if you could like the video, it'd be fantastic. Real Rovers, there's Kieran. Any club player you want in the Pat squad, you choose one. If I had to choose one, I actually like John Kavanagh still. I still think John Kavanagh has a lot. He could offer something with a Premier Division team. I like Charlie Lyons as well. To choose one, probably Charlie Lyons. Yeah, Galway should have won. I'm hearing all right. Should we done well first half? Yeah, absolutely, Jake. I mean, it's like you've limited Pats to, I think. Sorry, there. Let's get that up there. You've limited Pats to maybe. I'll just pause this at the moment to get the sound kind of down or whatever. You've limited Pats had one chance, Matty Smith, and it was a good chance in my opinion that he kind of fluffed. But Drogheda, in terms of chances, they had a chance with. I think Mark Doyle could have done better with that header. It's another opportunity as well. Mark Doyle actually could have done better with another opportunity straight at Yaris. The work rate and the effort and the closing down and the compactness of Drogheda off the ball has been brilliant in the first half, and Pats have had no answer yet. Banter's slagging. A little bit of bite. Yeah, give a special prayer. Gibson was a headless chicken at Pats last year, and that's the honest truth. Very surprised. I don't know where that player's come from in the last couple of games, particularly the last game. I think Drogheda are forcing them to do that, Jamie, if I'm honest with you. Pats are struggling to get their passing game together. But they could be shown for the ball a bit better. And Drogs, look at the effort Drogs are putting in off the ball. And Pats then, in frustration, are hoofing the ball forward against the wind, by the way, which is ridiculous. But I don't think Pats been great so far. The 2 opportunities that opened up for chances with Forrester as well. Instead of shooting, you're playing a final pass, which is ridiculous. They do like showing that. Every break, they're showing that. Smash and grab from the Drogs might be on the cards. Yeah, absolutely. Pats could get frustrated here. Easily happen, yeah. Yeah, could easily happen. The game has kind of gone the way I expected so far. I expected Pats to have most of the ball. Yeah, Jamie, I think Pierce Phillips, yeah, another good one in fairness as well. Yeah, I agree. Pierce Phillips is good too. Yeah, but again, Jamie, a bit like last year, in a sense. There's no why is Matty Smith and McClellan in this particular game seem to be not intertwining with Ronan Coughlin. Ronan Coughlin at Sligo, when he was at Sligo, those players around them were linking up with him. But everyone seems to be miles away from Ronan Coughlin. Why is that? Georgie Kelly had the same issue last season as well. So you'd have to look at that as well and ask a few questions. Depends what division you're in, Rory. Reckon you watch the Electricity League. It's on Watch LOI. You have to pay for Watch LOI. But yeah, Jamie, going back to that point that I was making, that's one of the biggest issues they've had actually in the last couple of years. And so if Ronan Coughlin doesn't do well for Pats, in my opinion, you got to question what's going on, because look at Gibson there, looked like a headless chicken last season at Pats. Let's be honest, good energy, but a headless chicken. Look what he's done at Sligo so far. There's a fluency. There hasn't been a fluency in Pats' yeah, Lorcan, it is a midfield battle. Pats have a lot of the ball in midfield, but Drogheda are hounding them out of it, and therefore Pats are struggling to get a good passing game together, which is fantastic for them. Like Pats versus Bowes predictions. We'll see how both teams do this week. But my first thought would be a draw there. Bowes are obviously 2 up as well against Longford at half time here. I'd be concerned about that though. I'm answering his questions. Cole versus what? UCD next Saturday. Need more advanced midfielder. Yeah, possibly, but I don't see it happening, Jamie. To be honest, that's the only issue. Any chance? Castletown are not in the League of Ireland. Sean Bowles against Pats to predict. Could be. Yeah, indeed. I don't know, Jamie. If you're going to play a system of advanced forwards like Smith and McLeod or any players out wide, you have to be able to come inside and link up with the striker. I mean, there has to be link up play there. Irrelevant who plays there for Pats. That's something we've seen them struggle with. Yeah, but second half will be interesting, I suppose, to see if there's any changes. Drogheda will be hoping to put in that same effort and urgency off the ball as they did in the first half, and to do that, Pats might struggle and they could nick one. The other worry for Pats, actually, Jamie, there, is the fact that it looks like Griffin could have done something in his shoulder or collarbone or something like that. Bermo's been a great player for Pats throughout the years, but there's no way he has the energy to get up and down now, is there, in fairness? There, who? Oh, that'll be Castletown. Yeah, they'll be in the Munster Senior League. I'm pretty certain they're in the Munster Senior League. Obviously, they're not in the League of Ireland, but they'd have to be, wouldn't they? I think I haven't checked the actual full list of teams in a while, to be honest with you, but I think they are. Apparently Tierney's having a great game for so I'm told for Bohemians. Oh look, I can watch myself live. That's freaky, isn't it? I'm behind when I'm watching myself live by a few by a little bit, but it's a funny one. That's really weird watching it live there. It's behind. How do you see Treaty getting on against Bray, guys, tomorrow? That could be an interesting game as well. It's supposed to be lashing rain. Yeah, exactly, Jamie. And that's the issue. Like, I don't know. What's typical, Jamie, what often happens is when you have a big squad, you don't get many injuries. When you have a small squad, you tend to get injuries. If Griffin's out for 6 weeks, right? Bermo's going to have to pretty much play every game over the next 6 weeks. And he's definitely past his best. Shame. They do. In fairness, Cole Ramblers get a few players from the Munster Senior League. Do you think so? Possibly. I think Bray will start well. But their squad depth wouldn't be the biggest in compared to the other sides. So they could start very, very well and look good, I think, early in the season. I think you might find after 10 games. Bray, don't be surprised to even see Bray top after 10 games. That music is still on, guys. In case you've just tuned in, I've mentioned a few times, but the neighbours have music on, what I would call thump music, since 10 o'clock this morning. It's now 5 o'clock. They've had it literally on from 10 to 5 o'clock, which is crazy. Brandon Berman's a good option, actually, off the bench, because he can run the channels, definitely. James, I don't see any changes from Drogheda. Drogheda need, and I don't think Pats will make changes either, because they've had to bring Birmingham on for Griffin. I can see Pats giving it 20 minutes. Drogheda will be happy. They'll make subs based on tiredness, I think, later in the game. Do you think Ireland have any chance to win the World Cup to sack Kenny? That's brilliant. I love it. I love that one. That's a good one. How are we doing anyway, actually? No, still they're showing the highlights of Bowes and Finn Harps there. Is it saying what shall I have thing for everyone? I don't know, Bob. That'll be for everyone else to answer, because I kind of have the volume not so loud and I can hear shite music next door. So someone else might be able to answer that one. Would you like if Dundalk won the Europa League? It'd be great if Dundalk won the Europa League. Scenes of Dundalk won the Europa League, guys. Just kind of. Just going to use the cat's tail to, not the actual cat, it's a teddy, but using a cat's tail to clean the lens, eh? No, Mystic Drog wouldn't like it, of course. Yeah, Adam Foley's just put Finn Harps ahead against Bohemians. Should serve them a noise complaint. To be honest, it is head wrecking though. It's on since 10 this morning, but I'll be honest, like, one of the neighbours we never talked to anyway. The last thing though we need to is to, you don't want to be not talking to every neighbour, particularly when they're right beside you, when you have to live with them, if you get me. So, but it's fucking ridiculous, seriously. How do you even listen to music that long, from 10 o'clock in the morning to 5 in the evening? It's bizarre. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Then they're showing highlights of other Dundalk Sligo game. watching that again, it's definitely McGinty's fault, not Bulger's. McGinty's giving them the ball, and your man's up Bulger's arse. Like, see you later, Shane. Cheers for tuning in. Good man. No, because I could do it peace. You know what I mean? Like, we've already railed one of the neighbours, to be honest with you, and that got ugly. The last thing I need is to be falling out with every single bloody neighbour, particularly with the ones right beside you.
Very entertaining season opener here at the Showgrounds. It's finished the goal.
It is. Your Park is good as well when the ground is hopping. I have to say, Richmond Park is a nice little ground. I have to say now, bias aside, but it is. It's one of the reasons why I actually support Pats as well. I like the ground a lot. Your Park's a great atmosphere when it's hopping as well. It has to be said. Dogs out for the second half here. Pat's still not out for the second half. Dogs look ready.
And welcome back to Richmond Park ahead of the start of the second half of this Premier Division fixture. Score is opening 45 between St.Patrick.
Ball's too long for Neil. No chance of comeback there. Philip, how are you? You well? Hope you're doing well.
From their respective dressing rooms ahead of the start of the second half. First out of the Pats dressing room, Ian Birmingham acclimatising themselves.
The lighting in this room isn't the best, guys. I don't know. No matter what you do, it's just one of those rooms. But the kitchen doesn't have a TV in it, and the kitchen is usually better with the lighting, I have to say. But anyway, no changes, obviously. Well, obviously, but you'd expect no change, particularly from Drogheda. I know. I don't know what they're trying to prove, Brian. I don't get it. It's just.
Still await the opening goal this particular fixture.
You wouldn't want to be doing night shifts, Brian, would you? Fuck me. Jesus Christ.
Watches right, and away we go. Drogheda trying to get a first go at.
First thing Sam Bowen does is long ball.
Breaks down though.
He was a genius at it in the first half. Georgie Kelly strikes again. 3-0? Is that what you mean? Or no? You're referring to the first goal.
Birmingham was in the mix. Doesn't quite work out for them. I know the most of there to gather.
Certainly travelling, wasn't it? It was a hell of a strike. Keeper's done quite well. Interesting look. It just looks like a change of shape from Pats or personnel. Marty Smith looks like he's gone up the top. Whether it's a box midfield for Pats or it's a 4-3-3 with Ronan Coughlin moving out to the right. But it'll be interesting. Maybe Stevie's trying to overload the midfield with a box. We went to that box midfield up in Cala last week, and it looks like it's going to be something similar to the second half.
Yeah, Matty Smith certainly among the goals of Waterford.
Matty Smith up front, Ronan Coughlin the right wing. I don't know about that.
The reason that he impressed Stephen O'Donnell enough so that he made the off-season switch here.
Pat's looking to start the second half. On the front foot, basically.
Back to Mountney. Coughlin now back to goal. Plays it around the corner for Smith. Retains it on the edge of the box. Coughlin has it again. Tries to tease Drogheda out of that shape.
Pat's having the ball on the edge of the box here, but here's a chance. What a miss by Benson. Absolute sitter. What was he doing? What was he doing, guys? Seriously, I know we've no replay. He took too many touches for a start. Why didn't he just hit it? That was bizarre.
Headlines in tomorrow's papers, Robbie Benson. But he got it all wrong at the very vital moment. And also, trying to go long with the goal kick.
That was bizarre, wasn't it, guys? I can breathe again, Jake. I don't get it though. Like, I've talked about how Pat's kind of diddery and shooting. Like,
just whips up.
But he takes about like he takes about 3 or 4 touches before he shoots. There was no need to do that. Like all he needed was one touch and shoot. What happened was by the time he took 3 or 4 touches, he had too much time to think about it, and he fucked it up. That's exactly what happened. One touch, shoot, and he probably scores. No messing. It's the worst thing you can do is take too many touches there, but it's a shocking miss. I mean, you know, Drogh's definitely got away with one there. There's no doubt about that.
Retreated a little bit. Paddy Smith is the out and out go-to man for St. Patrick.
I think that's been one of the highlights of Pats when they've been in around the box of Drogheda, and obviously that highlights it worse, but just too many touches, too much, almost trying to walk the ball into the net. Once the position opens up and you're in control, have the shot. Like, you don't need 4 touches to have a shot. Like, normally you don't get that as well. That's another thing.
All too close. Just overcooks it.
But certainly the chance of the match, to say at least. Pats have started the second half very well, it has to be said. But you can't be missing that.
Hit the ball in the final third. Can we get more bodies in the box? Get shots off. So, you know,
Where's this Watson and Benson was never to say. I don't know, Philip. He's done well. He was good last week in Rovers. Maybe he's not consistent. He's still a good player. Definitely, Morris. Big time. Yeah. But I don't understand the 3 or 4 touches before he shoots. I mean, one touch, the opportunity was there to shoot. And the other bizarre thing is he ends up lashing it, doesn't he? He doesn't even have... no, I don't have Super Chat, Kelly. He doesn't have... there's no need to lash it there. Place it in the corner and there's nothing the goalie can do about it from that position. Yeah, along for 2 up. Bowls playing well, are they? Drogheda have been a bit deeper in the second half, haven't they? I don't know if that's them as such or just the way the Pats have come out. Possibly a bit of both, to be fair. There's a possibility that they tire a bit because of the effort they put in the first half off the ball. It's very hard to play like that off the ball for 90 minutes or 70 minutes. So there'll be times Drogheda need to get on the ball a bit more, I feel, in the second half.
It's important for Pat to keep rolling.
Absolutely.
You can see Rowan Coughlin now and Matty Smith a little bit more central. Maybe with Matty being that kind of direct figure, that got kind of out now, number 9. If you want, it allows Rowan to kind of float and link the play a little bit more. And you can see from there, you've got Robbie Benson trying to go beyond, something that I kind of noted in the first half. Try and get in beyond the drop of the defence, stretch it, and leave a little bit more space in front of the back four to play in.
I think from Drogheda's point of view, to be honest though, if they can see out, obviously that'd be big help. Benson's miss. The initial 10, 15, maybe even 20 minutes of the half without conceding, it might settle for them again, if you get me. Poor Benson. Maybe he shoots quicker if there's fans there, who knows. Melanie involved a lot in the second half in attacking force. Lennon's probably been Pat's best player in the middle of the park today, I have to say. Again, McClellan gets inside and there's another opportunity there, isn't there, to have a shot. And he just runs into trouble and ends up not shooting. Like, that's happened a few times in this half. Langford any good Nastro.
It's going to be important that we use that step into play and kind of bring in the extra man.
Sam Bowen, I mean, like, Sam, you know, what, I don't know. No point doing that either. Getting your centre back taking a shot from a weird angle.
They will continue to try and find that route to go. Talent firmly established on this near side, the start of this second half. Matty Smith and himself, of course, that shifted changed in the opening half. Smith now operating down the middle. For the Mosu, doesn't find his angles with the goal kick. Goes straight out for a throw in and has the opportunity of possession back to St. Pat.
Just kind of screen is short there for some reason.
Yarosh.
Any player of Pat's not playing well. Hello, Bohemians TV. It's a weird one. Individually, you can't say someone's having a rotten game for Pats, but on the other hand, you can't say someone's having a great game for Pats.
You have to be the way he hits the ball really, really good.
I would suggest the music next door because you can block out the commentary. It's very hard to block that out. I think Lennon's probably playing the best for Pats today. Drogheda players standing out, not on the ball, no, because you can't stand out the way they're playing, but everyone is working hard and doing their jobs brilliantly for Drogheda in what they're trying to do. So they could do with getting on the ball a little bit more, in my opinion, though. Drogheda. And here's an opportunity. They need to try and Murray's on it here, like. Because they need to get a rest as well, like, because so they need to get on the ball a little bit. Deegan's on it now, but he's giving it away. Deegan, that's sloppy from Deegan. McClellan though can't make the most of it, but very sloppy from Deegan there. Benson might whip in across here, and he does. It's a good ball in, but no one's there. Comes to Manny Smith though. Good skill by Smith, but it was a difficult opportunity and as well blocked by Dan O'Reilly into the corner. That came from though Deegan giving it away, actually. To be fair.
Just going back there, you can see in the space of 20 seconds, two players who very rarely get the ball away, and Chris and Deegan, giving it away for their teams, respectively, and
corner kick for St. Pat's, by the way. Sam Bone would be the danger man here, I would suggest, in terms of aerial threat. But they don't have too many huge men, I would suggest, Pats, in that sense. And Anamusu, I think he's knocked it out for a corner, has he? They lost in the breeze a bit. How do you see it, guys? Do you think it's going to go to 0-0? Do you think Pats are going to finally score, or do you think Drogheda are going to nick it on a counter? How do you see it? The best two players are Benson, Metney and Massey. It's not about his opinion. Says the Dundalk man. No, I don't know. I think it's very hard. It's one of those games hard to forget individual players, isn't it? Let's be honest about it. Drogheda should be well able to deal with corners at pieces, because I think you could argue they've more big men, I think, than St. Pat's.
Birmingham to take the throw. Comes close for it. Coughlin gets it to Jamie Lennon is there. Works it inside. Forrester. Birmingham trying to get on it again. A little bit scrappy.
It's a chance. Manny Smith turns good. Again, straight to the goalkeeper. He had a corner to find, and
it was fortunate. Robbie's probably too sharp to try and hit it. He's probably miskicked it.
Possibly, Bob.
Connor Kane was probably a little bit thinking that they were going to attack. He's probably a little bit out of position, but
fair play, Shane. How are you?
It's just on the set pieces, especially if Pats are going to get on the ball and dominate the second half. I'd imagine it's going to be.
Pat's probably been much better the second half compared to the first half, and must say, it should be 1-0 up. Benson obviously should have scored that goal. It's a sitter ultimately. That's a foul, and he might pick up a yellow here. Maybe not. Who's on the ground though? Darren Markey. You see in Birmingham, he was just a bit late, to be honest. He's not going to get booked, is he? I don't know. No, he's not going to get booked. He was a bit late, to be honest. Unfortunately, Ian isn't as quick as he used to be.
Yeah, I think that's good refereeing. With no crowds in, the thing I'm finding now, the trend is that everyone seems to be screaming. It was the same in Tala last week. Both benches are screaming, the subs are screaming. The boards are screaming, the directors, the stewards are screaming. So the referee.
Free kick for Drogheda though.
Control the game.
And
he was going to go for the pocket there.
it's crossed in. Not a bad free. Comes out. Drogheda trying to get a foot on it. Pat's clear, but not very far. And they're trying to hit the counter. Oh, I leave it there. Thanks. Pat's trying to break. They haven't had the opportunity to break, actually. Who'd you rather back to McCauley or Kelly? I'd go with Kelly, to be honest with you, because simply because he's a better attitude. Actually got some dinner for you guys, so I'm just going to tuck in if you don't mind. Jesus, hot. In a minute. Still working very hard, trying to kind of keep it up. Here's a chance. Matty Smith on the ball, but oh, McClelland. Oh, I can't get the shot away properly. Great defending, Drogheda, to be fair. Someone's down for Drogheda here. Pats might knock the ball out here from Lennon. Pats are playing on controversially. Oh, it's 1-0 Coughlin, but that's controversial, I must say.
Mark Doyle is having words with the match referee saying that Darren Markey was on the ground for quite a number of moments.
Markey's on the ground. Pat's played on. I'm not sure what I think about this, I'll be honest, guys. What do you think about this? Coughlin puts Pats in front. Deservedly so, I might add in the second half. But I'm just going to listen for a second. Hang on.
I know Tim and Kev and some of the Drogheda team are giving it up, but listen, there's no rule. I never really bought into that, to be honest with you. It's up to the referee to stop the game. It wasn't a serious injury on Dara.
Yeah, that's a good point. I suppose it was up to the referee to stop the game. It wasn't a serious injury. I'm just looking at Jake, and there's nothing but Ronan Coughlin, Bobby scored. And this is nothing biased and all, because I just listened to it as well, and I do think that's the case as well, in all honesty. There actually is no rule. There's no rule. It's a difficult one. Yeah, I don't know. There's no rule. Like, Markey wasn't seriously injured at all. In fact, he's up and he's playing. It's not a bother on him. But they could have knocked the ball out of play. But Drogheda fell asleep at the same time. That's the only thing I'll say, that they should have played to the whistle, Drogheda, and unfortunately they did fall asleep. It's a difficult one though. I have to say it's a difficult one. Pats do deserve it in the balance of play, you'd have to say, in the second half. And here they come again. But the onus is actually on the referee there, to be honest, to blow up. And Markey is all right, to be fair. It's a difficult one. What? Scores the treaty again, bud. Tomorrow. But I can see the frustration, but he didn't do anything wrong, to be fair. There's nothing in the rule that he should have stopped that, to be honest. There's genuinely, that's just the rule, like, you know. But I can see why he could be seen as a pain in the arse, to be honest. Shimon, yeah, not surprised. What?
Trust me, I want a tablet for Christmas. No.
She's not getting a tablet for Christmas. Christmas. I've got my food. No idea, Philip.
On the outside pocket, going himself on the edge of the box. Mr. Forrester.
From Drogheda's point of view, from Drogheda's point of view, Forrest had a shot here. Easy safe keeper. And here goes the music again. That's unreal, isn't it?
It's all day.
It's 10 o'clock this morning. Fuck me. From Drogheda's point of view, yeah, they look like they're getting a little bit tired. They're doing an awful lot of work off the ball. Fantastic work, might add, off the ball. But it takes its toll. So they need to get on the ball a bit more, to be honest, even if it means they're left open for the counter. I don't know, Drogheda fans, would you like to see Drogheda get on the ball a little bit more now? Because when you're chasing for that long, and behind now, you do tend to tire more. Like,
so that's going to be an interesting scene. Is there going to be a tactical change for Drogheda? Is there going to be, a change of personnel, or a change of thinking and how they're going to attack? That's for the last.
but Pats have been much better in the second half. I must say, they've been very good in the second half. Like, the tempo's been a completely different tempo. It is, yeah, it is, yeah, pretty much. Although I think there's a bit of black in the Derry kit. I think in the Treaty kit it's just simply red and white.
I'm surprised no one asked you what you eat.
I know.
Lennon loses out. Tried to go around the outside with Mark Byrne.
Really well done, Chris Forrester.
The standard of refereeing though in the league is poor. There's no doubt about that. It's not getting away from that. That's a general thing.
Not enough pressure for Chris seeing the danger got across and could have forced our
100%.
misplaced pass and allows Pat to regain possession.
I find it difficult to pick out refs.
Finish? Alright.
Yeah, Jake, they need to do something now because they are tiring, and as I say, it's very difficult. It's commendable, but it's very difficult to play like that for 90 minutes or so. They haven't really got Mark Doyle in the game for a while. Brown hasn't been able to get forward. It's honest, but they need to get more in attack, don't they? Potatoes, chicken fillets, and broccoli, and some beans.
Someone did ask, yeah.
There. Very simple stuff. Morris, this is me eating slow. I swear to God.
When someone say you eat fast.
Pretty much, yeah.
They ain't seen nothing
I
yet.
haven't even seen nothing yet.
Now, Maddie Smith going to have numbers back to deal with the threat of
The change in system seems to have helped Pats the way they've got Smith and Coughlin up top, basically.
Happy enough to slow it down and speed it up as they see
Well, it's interesting. When I was vlogging the games, like,
going over the top.
when you're going to different teams and watching different teams play and that, when you're seeing it from a point of view, a referee's point of view from the team,
Yeah, it looks like trying to prepare some sort of.
you
You need to play something different.
like when I'm going to games and vlogging them, the neutral games as such, you kind of really see some of the poor officiating at them when you're vlogging them and that, to be honest. Because there's no bias there and you're still seeing it, kind of a thing.
Looks like he's stripped away on the far side. Denny Corcoran too.
Denny Corcoran looks like he might be coming on soon, guys, actually.
Both men saw action last week against
It's Val McClelland.
Very, very shortly indeed.
Yeah, two attacking positive changes. Brandon was a young player.
Brandon and Denny, yeah.
Denny was a player as well, so someone that people will know well as fans. Looks like it's going to be a straight swap with Chris Lyons for Denny.
Yeah, but in fairness to Chris Lyons, let's be honest, he's been very isolated up there. He hasn't got the ball. Unless they change something tactically, Corcoran will pretty much be redundant as well. I think that's the point.
Very great player, and Brandon seems to be coming off with their marquee as well. So it's a positive change.
Brandon can give you something as well if they can get the ball as well, because he can get you in the counter attack.
Two identical changes to what they made.
He's a different type of player to Markey.
They reaped the benefit of that because it was Denny Corcoran's.
Yeah, that was brilliant. Yeah. Hello, Dara. How are you? I remember that. Yeah. Huh. Royal Rumble, pretty much. Yeah. It's a good way of putting it.
What price they pay right now for a goal to get themselves back on level terms, because Ronan Coughlin's strike just in and around the hour mark separates the two sides.
I have to say, actually, Birmingham's done quite well in the attacking front since he came on. I just find it difficult for him over the next 6 weeks if he has to play for him. I think I can see him tiring, basically. He wouldn't have the legs like he used to have.
But it still has the
Don't be
same
insane
legs.
as a forward as well.
Not necessarily.
You know, but there's still 22 and a half, 23 minutes to play. There's still
James
plenty of
Brown
time.
coming forward now. They need a bit more of that now, to be fair. If they can do that Kane to Kane as well. Good ball inside.
There is going to be opportunities. So
Um,
it's important that you stay in the game for as much as you possibly can.
Jamie Lennon sprints away with it, tries to work it outside. Coughlin is out there. Pull back, holds him up. Mountney, Forrester. Mountney just gives it away.
oh, Mountney gives the rails. Poor.
Has an opportunity.
Corcoran on it.
Ball on the feet.
Who's
Has
this?
to go to Doyle.
Doyle.
Doyle has Murray in close attendance.
Play from Doyle gets the side. Oh, mistake, Yaris. And it's Corcoran. It's a mistake by Yaris. And it's 1-1. And I think my stream is a bit behind.
More than a draw, a goal, but they'll celebrate it away on the far side, Drogheda.
Bad mistake by Yaris, has to be said. Against the run of play completely. Pats have completely dominated the second half here. But that's a mistake from Yaris. And funnily enough, I said last week, guys. I said last week, guys, that
It's probably sloppy play in the build-up to the goal. You know, John Mountney's misplaced the pass.
someone was talking about Yaris, actually. I don't know if I mentioned in the preview show or whatever and said how well he done last week and all. I think I said cue a mistake the following week. He has made an error there. And it is against the run of play, to be fair. Pats have been dominant, but when you're 1-0, there's always a chance. Literally, Drogheda have had one chance-ish in the second half. And,
But not one that Miroslav Jarosz will want to see back, but
It's a bad mistake, let's be honest. But they were positive there.
Some first team experience and hope
They were positive in what they tried to do, and Mark Doyle was able to get to the edge, kind of the line, and get a decent cross into the box, to be fair. And and that'll give Drogheda a bit of energy now going into the last 20 minutes, because they were 1 down. Pats were all over them, let's be honest. And they were definitely lacking. They were looking like they're feeling the heat, feeling the tiredness. But yeah, Morris patched us off slightly, but at the same time, your keeper needs to be doing better there, let's be honest.
yellow card. We're about to say goodbye to Jason McClelland.
McClellan going off, very average player in my opinion. On comes Dara Burns, more exciting player.
He's an exciting player, Dara. He's a wide player who can play on either side, and you know he likes to be directed and attacking as well. He's got very good quality around the final third, so you know he's got 20 minutes to now just try and get in and do his thing.
It's going to be an interesting last 20 minutes, because will Drogheda kind of go back to what are you doing?
Scored.
1-1. What?
He scored.
For who?
Oh.
Let's go for Pats. Head's gone, guys. Ronan Coughlin and Dean Corcoran's gone for Drogheda. We need to win home against the part, especially early this season. It's going to be interesting the last 20 minutes now, because can Pats kind of get back into gear to where they were before the goal? And as I said, that'll give Drogheda the energy now for the last 20 minutes, in my view, to nick a point here, which would be a great result, I think, particularly the way Pats have played in the second half. If Drogheda came from 1 down to get a point, I think it'd be a good result.
You know, there's a lot of experience out there. Lee Desmond, Chris Forrester, Robbie Benson. You know, it's important that you understand that there's still plenty of time. You know, 5 minutes ago we were talking about Drogheda staying in the game. You know, now we're talking about Pats not losing. You know, any focus, try and get the momentum back up again. There's plenty of time to try and find a winner.
Absolutely, there is, and of course, plenty of football still to come this evening. The Aviva Stadium, a venue for Stephen Kenny's World Cup qualifying mission.
Drogheda are starting to get more on the ball now as well, to be fair to them. Like, I thought maybe after getting the equaliser, they might say to themselves, right, we need to keep it tight here again. But the pattern of the game has changed since that goal. As I said, Pats were dominating the second half and very much on top, and looking more like they could get a second, actually. So Drogheda's goal,
its benefits on the score sheet.
It's an interesting last 20 minutes or so, roughly, I think, here. Because Drogheda, you can see in the body language, they're back up again a bit here, aren't they? Coffee. I would suggest that most of the coffees are quite awful at the games, to be honest with you. You never get a good coffee at a game, and that's gone beyond play, and it's a goal kick to Drogheda.
He's settled in St. Patrick. He was carrying a little knock into the game last week. Had to come off early and had to fight with it.
I think it's still 2-0 in the other game, guys. Let me have a look here.
Yeah, listen, he missed a little bit of pre-season because of, he arrived over late. He's had to try and play a little bit of catch.
Still 2-0. It sounds comfortable.
The first half is that it's not your traditional pre-season with 6-7 weeks or 5-6 games, and players going into the season feeling fit, sharp, and fresh. It's going to take a little bit of time. Players are a little behind, so injuries and muscle injuries are going to be part of it in the early weeks. So, Paddy's going to be a really good player. Stevie knows him quite well from his playing days with him.
Yeah, Bobby. I don't think I've ever got a coffee. Long for miss a penalty, really? Oh, that screws them there. At a game, I don't really get them at games. It's usually rotten unless it was freezing cold and you just needed something to actually. Well, they'll be more likely a tea, I'd say. But Pats are giving away a lot of frees now, actually, for some reason.
No, I've done that many
A little bit fortunate there. We picked up the yellow card, which always was a little harsh of the tackle at the Eagle, but the experience that Denny's got in and got the ball and got away from them.
Free kick for Drogheda in the Pats half now.
Pull on him. Yeah, he's quite a little bit fortunate.
Is there anyone doing better? Was it even more?
Pats were dominating the whole second half, but then they gave away a goal and they've kind of got off it since, to be honest. Get it wide here. That's a great ball. Oh, he's offsides. It was a lovely ball through to Brown there, actually. Let's see if anyone sees his name.
It's a good opportunity for him to, send up that already.
Oh, really? Didn't know that.
Dini and Brandon who come on, much bigger than the likes of Darren Markey and Chris Lyons, which gives them a different type of threat in the box as well. So there's something wrong with Murray's ability, quality that's before delivery.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where you need to show a bit of character in that. I mean, saw Sligo last night when 1-down against Waterford, and it didn't really affect them too much, and they ended up winning the game. So you're going to get setbacks often in football matches, how you deal with them. So far, Pats haven't dealt with it well, it has to be said. They seem a little bit clueless at this minute. But there's still 15 minutes, they could come again. We'll see.
John Mountney finding space away on the far side, but opting not to relate forward. Then we see him operate in a more forward position. From away from goal again, though. The second half has progressed. Now, what could Drogheda work with Connor Kane? Trying to be held up by Mountney. Kane flashes one across.
But they're not sitting back as such, Drogheda either. I thought maybe in the equaliser they'd go back to kind of sitting back, but they've had a bit. I don't know what's going on there. A bit of renewed energy from them there, I have to say. It has to be said. In fact, they've been a better side, let's be honest. Since. Good play. They're doing well, Drogheda here now, I have to say.
What we spoke about before the half, Jamie Lennon's defensive qualities now starting to show. He's read it, he's seen that John has found himself a little bit difficulty against Mark Doyle. Really well, really positive.
Mark Doyle's done well there again, after doing well to create the goal in the first place, I think.
Just draw the second corner of this second half.
I'm rolling down to
The heater on?
It's cold.
Jesus.
How?
Here, but you can face it the other way, look. Okay, fair enough. Still 2-0 in Bowls, guys. Have they though? I checked there and it was still 2-0. Have they definitely pulled one back, guys? Yeah. Hello. Have Longford got one back, lads? It's my one. They're playing later on. I think it's 7:45. Have Longford got a goal? Yeah, they have. Yeah, I haven't got the score yet. 2-1. Interesting. Maybe we're in for a finish there, Grand Slam finish there. But some crap if they got a draw. Yeah. I hadn't got it refreshed actually. It is 2-1. Yeah. Who scored for Longford, by the way? Who actually got the goal? Does anybody know?
Obviously, the manager didn't think he could be split at the start of the game, but he's a really, really good player. Really, we probably didn't see the best of last year with the break in the season.
Ball to Coughlin, he holds it up well back to Forrester, but and Darragh Burns, nice play, but hang on. Benson, what's he going to do? Is he actually going to have a shot or? I don't know. No, there's no penalty there. Again, too many touches from Pats. Davis got the goal. Again, too many touches from Pats in the box. Like, shoot when the chance offers itself. That's been a feature of their particular game, I think. Corner kick anyway. Is it Forrester taking it?
That's mine.
He's actually got a run on that.
I think that's offside there, I think.
No.
Serious pace because of players, but you know with Sam's reaction, it's go straight. He's got across his man and any sort of connection. That could be problems for Drogheda.
The doctor got down, could you imagine? Another change. Looks like the injury prone Billy King is coming on for Robbie Benson.
An opportunity earlier in this game didn't quite come to pay for Robbie Benson. Billy King will see out the remaining 10 minutes or so.
Listen, Stevie's more now to cover all of the ice. He's brought Darragh on and he's brought Billy on, two attacking players. So really hoping that one of them can have the same impact as what Dinny and Van Green did when they came on.
Great work right there from Drogheda there, getting around Darragh Burns there, I thought. Ball's defence, an individual goal, so yeah, great stuff.
Stevie's going to sit in that box. He looks like he's pushed around the Coughlin a little bit forward up.
Another change in Pat's system, I think, here as well. Jared Bryan seems to think it's a 4-4-2 now, but trying to try when they get forward and trying to break very quickly, obviously, so that they can good play Connor Kane. Nice little flick around the corner. Who's this? Markey. Oh, good ball in. Good defending by Pats, but that was good play there for Drogheda on the wing, I felt. Pats defended it well. They're trying to counter now through Jamie Lennon, but he's kind of slowed it down a bit. Mark had a nibble, but Lennon got away from him. Mountain's cross in is, I don't know what he's doing there, to be honest. Looks like Lee Desmond's getting a booking here. Second booking of the season for Lee Desmond. I've kind of got sick of talking about referees, to be honest with you. In general, like, you kind of expected at this stage.
But certainly,
You leave it. Why are you trying to rip it?
They put them out those difficult at the end. It's gone back to when it was first half, a little bit soft start, three kicks again, and it's going to suit the
Good play, Deegan. Nice little ball inside. Marky just plays the ball completely blind there. Get your head up, Dara. Seriously. Good ball out wide though to Doyle. Mountney does well this time. Doyle, not disappointing. Sorry, I feel sorry for him a little bit today because when he's got the ball, he's looked dangerous, but he hasn't got it enough for his liking, I've no doubt. Forrester, shooting position, but again, takes an error to take the shot, works on his left, wins the corner. Corner kick, anyway. 7 minutes to go, roughly. Probably a couple of minutes injury time. Say about 10 overall. Ooh. Like an opportunity, to be fair. To be honest, it was a mistake by the goalkeeper. The Pats goalkeeper made an error. He dropped it, and Dinny Corcoran was on hand just to notch it into the net. Definitely a goalkeeping error, to be honest with you. It looks like it's filtering to a 0-0. That pressure from Pats, which was excellent first 20-25 minutes second half, yielded a goal. Although here they come. Oh, what a terrible ball. Smith was in, wasn't he? The pass wasn't great. Oh, absolutely. It'd be a huge point for Drogheda having won in the open day season against Waterford. Absolutely. A great point. They've worked extremely hard in this game, to be fair. They're going to have to do that all season as well, obviously. They take on Finn Harps at home next week. It's going to be... Yeah, I mean, it's disappointing that from Forrester. He's better than that, Rory. Far too heavy of a pass. Didn't need anything like that. Didn't need a true pass. Just needed to get it to him. But 5 minutes to go, still 1-1 here. Still 2-1, I think, Bowes against Longford. I wonder if we'll have late drama at Daily Net. Fair play to Longford, though, because they were 2 up reasonably early, weren't they, in the first half? Or 2 down, reasonably early. So they've kept in the game, to be fair, and managed to get 1 back. Good for Jimmy Corcoran. Good for Dinny Corcoran to get off the mark, though, no matter how you get off the mark for any striker. He'll be happy with that. King kept it in, but gave it right to Brandon Birmingham, who plays a nice little ball inside to Markey. Yarsh did well that time. Markey's still there. And Pat's kind of panicky clearance there. It was a cross from the left to Benson, and Coughlin was on hand to side forward into the net. Within the 6-yard box, I would suggest. What? I don't know. I think it was a clash of heads, wasn't it? Yeah, it's definitely a clash of players, that's for sure.
That's what at the moment, and you can see the frustration in Chris and Mikey Smith talking to the referee. So I'd say if you just happy that this went down.
Lucky Joe. What's good with, I don't know, the typical tap-in? I'd rather get my strikers be getting typical tap-ins. That's what you want. You want them in the right areas. Something Pats haven't had, to be fair. I still think the link-up, though, with the front three isn't fully there. And I'd be a bit concerned because Coughlin linked up very well for Sligo in that kind of sense. But I've noticed whoever the striker is for Pats, the wide men seem to be too far away for some reason. Jesus.
Sorry.
How are you, Steelers? You're joking. You serious? Is it 2-2?
No.
I do, Shane, yeah. I do indeed. Is it really 2-2? You're joking, yeah? Take the piss, is he?
He says 2-2.
Bohemian's too long for 2.
Oh,
Foot mob seems to be slowing the updates. If anyone's gonna nick at this, sorry, I'm all confused now. It is 2-2, yeah, just a bit behind there. That's amazing. Who scored? Bulls are 2 up reasonably early, weren't they? First 26 minutes. 86 minutes is now Bohemians too long for 10-2. What a start for Longford. You'd argue, in a way, it's a more impressive result if they come from 2 down to get 2-2 than the actual win against Derry, but there is late drama there. Will there be late drama here, though? Birmingham does well there. Smith has been busy. Billy King getting the shot away. At least he got the shot away. I've complained there's been too many touches in the box from Pants. Difficult shot, but you need to get your shots away. Unreal. Longford are level here as well. 2-2 after being 2 down to Bohemians. Mad Rovers Bowls and Dundalk. Yeah. Certainly an interesting start to the season, guys. And the other promoted team, Drogheda, of course, look like they might see this out and make a point here. Derry Bowls going down. Very interesting results early doors. So it's what we love about this league, guys. Let's be honest. Let's be honest about it. And here comes Birmingham. He's been quite good, actually, I have to say. Surprisingly, since he came on. Like, at this stage of his career. Coughlin, off the post. Oh, it's a good shot. Hang comes out to young Dar Burns. It's in. It's Billy King, and Pats are 2-1 up. Billy King, King Billy makes it 2-1. And the Scot makes it 2-1. I was, Dylan. Yeah, I was indeed. That's a tough one for Drogheda, I have to say. It looked like they were going to see it out. Do Pats deserve it?
No.
Oh, I don't know, but I will say I don't know why was King and Smith left on the back post by themselves. I hate no replays, guys. I think we did replay in one of the games last time. Wasn't there replays between Waterford and Sligo? But King and Manny Smith were completely on their own there. I'm not really sure what happened in terms of Drogheda, but Pats, did they deserve to win the game? I don't know. It's a difficult one, but they're 2-1 up with a minute to go. They had a purple patch, I suppose, Pats for 20 minutes where they completely dominated the second half. It looked like they were going to go on and get a second. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I forgot about that. Replays were offside was RTE. There's no excuse, though, why they shouldn't have replays in this, by the way. But this league is not over yet, though. Drogheda could nick one. Who knows? Mark Doyle fouled, free kick, good position. I'd look at Drogheda there, though. I'd like to see the goal again and say, why? It was a good cross for young Dara Burns, but why is King and Smith completely unmarked in the far post? Not just one player, pass player, 2 pass players, completely unmarked in the back post. So I'm not really sure what happened at Drogheda there. There was some kind of a breakdown. They've done well, Drogheda, overall, though, and they've shown that they're a team that can get results in this league, regardless of what happens now. They'll be disappointed to concede a late goal if they lose, no doubt, but it's not over yet. John, I don't know. I think it's unfair to say people are criticising Longford. I don't think anyone is criticising Longford, if I'm honest with you. You can understand why people might say they finished bottom. I think they're a good side. I still think they'll finish bottom. They may not. But there's a long way to go. Shelburne had a great start last year, and in a half season still ended up getting relegated. But look, there's a lot to take positive from this game to Drogheda going into the game against Harps next week. One I'm looking forward to as well. Going to get a herring off Sligo. Is it Longford and Sligo next week? I agree. I don't think anyone is going to walk the league this year because Rovers, at the end of the day, have lost two absolutely massive players in the League of Ireland, Jack Byrne and Aaron McInniff. They are massive players that they won't replace this season, I've no doubt. So they're going to be knocked back slightly. The question is can anyone else step up to the plate? Dundalk have the personnel to do so, but they look like a mess. I think, excuse me, I think for Pats, it's key that that Billy King stays fit, but it's very difficult. He's always injured. Now, there's a minute left as such, but there might be more time after that injury within the injury time. So there's no easy game in this league. We've seen that already. Already we've seen it though. Week 2. You know, if you're not on it, you're in big trouble.
I don't think Daddy wants to go around wearing the clown's nose every day.
Drogheda put in a lot of work off the ball though. It's difficult to do that for the full 90 minutes. I think generally they've done that, but maybe they switched off for that second goal a little bit as well. But here's a chance, it's not over yet. Mark Doyle, who's given me some problems, I have to say, at times, when the Many does well there, but I think Mark Doyle's done well. Dylan, highly agree, fully agree with that. That's the issue. Griffin could be out for 4 or 5 weeks now as well. I reckon there'll be a few bangers before the end of the season, Dylan. To be fair, it was a good goal though. Excuse me. Just before we go, guys, thanks very much for watching the stream. Much enjoyed as usual. Hope you enjoyed it as well. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, guys, please subscribe as well. Fantastic. And hopefully Ireland can win later on as well. Still bowls too long for 2 as well. So here comes Billy King again. Just got a little bit crowded out. Forrester done that on purpose, did he? Red suits you, Keith, I must say. Smart ass. Yeah, well, you have to grind out results at times, Bob, as well. Something that Pats haven't done, and it's a big result for Pats in terms of that. Drogheda will be disappointed, but they shouldn't be too disheartened. They put in a lot of massive effort in this game. Worked very, very hard. Made it difficult for Pats for a lot of the game. Probably fortunate to score, to be fair, in many ways. But, you know, I thought Mark Doyle looked good for Drogheda, actually, when he was given the ball, when he got the opportunity. But it was difficult because of the work they put in off the ball, which was fantastic. Pats, it was a bit of the good, the bad, and the ugly, I suppose, from Pats in the game. But ultimately, they get the 3 points, and you know they'll be delighted with that. Just before we go, Aidan, thoughts on Galway, Shelburne? I think it's a very good result for Shelburne in the circumstances going down to 10 men. Galway won't be too disappointed with the draw either. Open day of the season, they move on, and they'll be looking to beat Athlone there. Athlone, isn't it, next week? Harps have had a fantastic start. Look, the first 2 weeks already, guys, have shown kind of what I've been saying, to be honest. Harps have to lose this year. Yeah, if they win all the games, they win the title. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. First 2 weekends already has been seriously interesting because, you know, every team has picked up results pretty much. Actually, not pretty much. Every team actually has picked up results. And you have to be honest. So full time in Daily Mount, and it's finished long for two bowls too. Absolute disaster for bowls. They would have been looking at, let's be honest, Bowles would have been looking at Finn Harps away and Longford at home saying 6 points. If 1 point from those 2 games to throw away 2-0 lead, they'll be devastated with that. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Plenty of videos coming up. Check the fan reactions. I'll have more fan reactions from these particular games and Bray and Treaty tomorrow as well. There's a good few videos I'm after doing the last few days, so just scroll down on the channel and you'll find them. Thanks for watching, guys, and take it handy. Have a good day. Thanks again. Bye-bye now.